You gotta be in it.
That makes no sense.
It's a. Oh no, my strawberry's coming up, right?
My strawberry.
Um,
Strawberry
let's see.
plum part.
are we ready?
Chris, are you ready?
Ready to talk lover?
Hi, guys.
Welcome
To
back.
Monday musicals.
Monday musicals.
Another episode.
Yeah,
of
we
Music
should probably all
Mondays.
introduce ourselves. I think you know.
At
Yes.
the
My name's
same
Luke.
time.
No. Stop it. I'm Leah. This Taylor. Sorry,
I'm Taylor.
I interrupted. You're Taylor. Who's next?
Next.
I'm Chris.
Again. Chris is back.
You guys know Chris.
Again.
Chris has been here.
Okay, Luke.
The grapefruit.
Hello, I'm Luke. You can find me on LinkedIn at Luke Armbruster.
Yeah. Link him up.
You're the only one left.
And starring special
What's
guest
your LinkedIn?
Evan.
At Evan.
I plead
Okay.
the fifth.
So yeah, today
enough.
we're talking
Alright.
about my favorite artist of all time, Taylor Swift. That's not true. She's I'm not a fan. But we got some fans here.
Look.
That's why we have 72 people on this episode, is because we got some fans. Yeah.
It's true.
So
I have a complicated relationship with Taylor Swift.
All right.
bring it on.
Bring it
Chris,
on.
do you want to tell us about Taylor Swift? Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't have any research. I have nothing. Luke has her Wikipedia pulled up.
So like a background.
Like a
on her
background.
artist.
Or
Okay,
Luke,
So
you and Luke can do it.
Who
I
she
don't know.
is,
You
where's
you
she
three
from,
are the
how old
fans.
is she?
So I'm gonna hand it over.
hang on, I'm also pulling up the Wikipedia.
You want Luke?
Just
You
gonna
want to
Google
Luke? You
Taylor
want to
Swift
start?
to see what
I
happens.
have the Lover album wiki pulled up, not the Taylor Swift wiki. So
Oh.
if you'd like to give backstory, that Chris seems primed and
Okay.
ready.
Primed.
I've got it. So, despite what should make you think, she was born in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
But once her family figured out that she wanted to do music, specifically country music, they moved to Nashville, or at least they moved her to Nashville. And she started from a pretty young age. She started recording country music, like acoustic guitar, kind of pop country love songs. And she kind of made her career on that and did that for a while, but over time she kind of started to transition into more radio pop. And if you listen to her albums from the beginning to Lover, which came out last month, you can hear that change in sound. You can hear it like slowly transition from the country to like a country pop to straight up pop. And so, yeah, now she's kind of just a full-on radio pop artist that has an army of young teenage girls at her disposal and is what some might call an icon, what some might call a bad icon, what some might call a good icon. She's a complicated person, as we all are, but she's done some not so great things and she's done some pretty good things. So trying to reckon with her legacy is an interesting thing to do in 2019.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't I don't
Good job.
I don't like Taylor Swift. I've never liked Taylor Swift. Therefore, I don't know a lot about the things she has or hasn't done. I cannot, give credit where credit's due. She's very successful and she's a very successful female. So cool. That in itself is an accomplishment. I can't take that away from her. But I'm still not a fan. And we kind of had a little bit of a conversation about the way she stands for things.
Yeah.
But that can be later
So
on.
I have a question for you, Leah, real quick. Do you not like Taylor Swift based on her music, or do you not like Taylor Swift based on her persona and personality?
No, I hate her music. I've just never been able to get into it.
All of it.
Yeah, all of it.
Literally every
I
single
hate
song.
country music, so her early stuff I don't like.
Okay.
country pop, like, maybe when I was in high school, it was a little more tolerable, and, like, I listened to, like, a couple songs off Red with, like, my friends. And, like, I don't know, radio pop is not really my area either. So, I'm just not a huge fan. I mean, there are a couple songs in this album where I was like, yeah, that's not bad. I can see why people like that. I probably wouldn't listen to it again, but yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I don't really follow her much as a person, so, like, I don't really have a strong opinion on that. So, like, I don't have an educated opinion on that anyway.
I understand that.
See, I was only a Taylor Swift fan from 2006 to 2010. So from her self-titled album to Fearless to then Speak Now, that was my Taylor Swift shit. That's when I was on the Taylor Swift train. And then once she started to go actual, like, pop, I didn't like it anymore. And I haven't listened
I'm the
since.
absolute inverse. I could not give less of a shit about anything until, like, 1989. There's some songs on Red that I like. I mean, there's some songs on the earlier stuff that I think are decent, but, like, I think 1999 is one of the maybe most perfect pop albums I have ever heard. Like, every single song on that album I enjoy and will listen to again and again and again. But
Is it tied with Carly Rae Jepsen?
well, you know, Emotion is really good as well. I'm trying to think if there's any songs that I skip on Emotion, and I don't think there are. But anyways, I've talked a lot, so I'm going to stop talking for a little bit.
Yeah. Luke and Evan, give us your opinions on your history with Taylor Swift. Whoever wants to go first.
As far as the older stuff, I still definitely can appreciate the hits. So you've got, like, Our Song comes on, you know. It's still pretty catchy.
Oh, yeah. Picture to Burn.
You belong with me.
Yeah, I can appreciate the transition over the years, though, and I think this album was pretty good representation of how far she's come as an artist.
I understand that.
I'd agree with that. 2006 Taylor Swift was my jam. Tim McGraw, Picture to Burn, Teardrops on My Guitar, Our Song. Yeah, those are the tops. But then she did make that interesting transition. And when was it, Chris? Was it Red or was it
I think
1989
I think it started in Red.
when she became
Yeah, I feel
more
like
of a
Red
celebrity,
teased
I
the
would say.
transition a little bit.
I would say you can hear a little bit of the pop on, hang on, let me pull up Spotify so I know what I'm talking about. You can hear a little bit of the pop on something like whatever came before Red. Speak Now. Yeah, I mean, Speak Now kind of gets more into rock in a way. Like there's a lot of acoustic performances rather than programmed performances, programmed music. Like Sparks Fly is kind of a rock song. Better Than Revenge is almost like a pop punk song in a way. But you still do have, like, Mine and Ours. Those are kind of pop country, more country than pop. Back to December is kind of a country ballad. But yeah, I think you see a little bit of it on Speak Now, and then when you get to Red, you're kind of firmly in the middle. Maybe like 60% pop, 40% country. And then 1989 comes around and it's 100% pop.
100% pop.
Anyways, that's what I spend my unemployed time doing, thinking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So is that
Extensively.
I feel like that's enough background. If you don't know about Taylor Swift and what she has done, then you're probably a little out of touch. Like, even I can kind of follow the timeline. So get with it, people.
Yeah. One important thing that I breezed over in the background was the 2007 MTV Video Music Awards.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
In which Taylor Swift accepted the award for Best Music Video or Best Music Video by a female artist, I can't remember. And she was up against Beyonce with Single Ladies. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And I think
Is that how it goes?
almost universally, yeah, that's how the song goes. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. Whoa, oh. Anyways, I think
Thank you.
to most people, you would look at those two music videos and say Beyonce's is like clearly better. Like it's the amount of work and athleticism and choreography that went into Beyonce's video is like heads and tails above what Taylor Swift's video was. I don't even remember what the video for Taylor Swift was. But none of that matters because the only important thing is that after she accepted the award and started her acceptance speech, one Kanye West ran up on stage, asked for the microphone, kind of took it, and said, "Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the best music video of all time," and then shrugged and handed the microphone back to her.
You
and
should
walked
get
off the
that
stage.
tattooed. You should get that quote tattooed on your body.
Oh man, it's
You should get "I'm gonna let you finish" as
On one ass
a tramp stamp.
okay.
No, as a tramp stamp. So then it's "I'm gonna let you
Oh.
finish" and then your butt.
Oh.
Nice. Good.
Oh no.
Do it. You won't.
I vote
You
yes.
But that kind of there's a Kanye West song that came out 9 years after that on the life of Pablo, in which he says, "To all my South Side that know me best, I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex. Why I made that bitch famous. God damn, yeah, I made that bitch famous." And it everybody was kind of over it when that happened, and then apparently that, which is a whole other thing because Taylor Swift apparently knew about it and like said that it was okay, and then when the song came out, she said, "No, I didn't know what the line was," even though, and then Kim Kardashian leaked a phone call.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Showed that she clearly knew what the song was gonna say,
Which is why Taylor Swift is now known as a snake.
Yeah.
and then she made a whole album about how she was like unfairly called a snake, and oh my god.
And it's like, please stop. Literally, nobody cares anymore.
Well,
Nobody cared to begin with, and especially nobody cares anymore. Please.
and she does that a lot.
Transitioning off of that, I think that her newest controversy with Scooter
Yeah.
Braun is reflected on the man, which we were having a private conversation via text yesterday, the three of us were, about the man. And I think that controversy is in that song, and I think that's why I don't like that song.
And the controversy is almost a non-starter because, I mean, you know, we'll never know the whole truth, and the truth lies between between both of their stories. But basically, Taylor Swift said she wanted the original masters for 1989, and that was produced at the record company that she founded with Scooter Braun. Is that the case?
Scooter Braun purchased
That's right.
the record
That's
company that she is signed to.
Big
So it's
Machine
not
or
just
something like that.
1989. It's all of her music
Gotcha.
from Taylor Swift
Gotcha.
to now was all recorded there. So she lost the rights to all of her music.
And I doubt
basically.
that'll last long. I'm sure she'll get them back relatively soon.
The newest news I've heard on it is that she is planning to re-record all of her
That's
music,
Wow,
really
that's-
stupid.
which is
No.
not going to go well.
I don't know. I'm kind of here for it.
Our girl JoJo just completely re-recorded her entire discography.
JoJo Siwa?
Yeah. JoJo's.
No.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
No, just
oh,
JoJo.
That JoJo. The proto JoJo.
I don't know
the
with
first.
that. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna go over well.
But and she said that she was kind of like cheated out of them, even though there are text messages that show that he said, "Hey, do you want these things? Because like we can negotiate how you could buy them, and it's not like she would have any trouble purchasing them because she's extremely wealthy."
Right.
But she's acting like
Doesn't she own like 3 separate New York penthouse
I'm
apartments?
sure. I think she has like 5
one
houses
on.
in the United States.
I feel like that's kind of I mean, we kind of talked about it yesterday because I like said I was like, oh yeah, like I kind of like the man, and you're like, oh, I don't like the man for these reasons, and I was like, yeah, now that I'm paying attention to it, you're right. But you said, it's like she is always the victim in every situation, and the only time I ever really hear about Taylor Swift, I feel like I'm just gonna offend you and your stan. I know that you love her, but I feel like every time I hear about Taylor Swift, it's because she is the victim of some kind of controversy. And like with the whole Kanye thing, it's like, yeah, what he did like wasn't like cool necessarily, but like it wasn't the end of the world. Like
She still got the award.
She still got the award.
She was also 17 when that happened.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So like I think that she never got a chance to mature in the way that other people would have, and that's why she takes the victim standpoint and everything.
I feel like that's the other thing I wanted to say today too, is like, isn't she like almost 30? When I listen to her, I still hear a teenager singing to me. I still hear that, and I'm like, I know that's her audience too, like mostly, but I don't know.
I'm with you on that, and I'm going to shut up here in just a second and not talk for a little bit. But I also think that could be applied to most, for lack of a better word, aging female artists. I mean, Carly Rae Jepsen still writes songs from the perspective of a horny high school girl.
Yeah, that's true.
And it makes me deeply uncomfortable when I listen to those songs. But I think at this in the music business now, the capital M, capital B music business, to be a female quote radio pop artist, you kind of have to appeal to a fan base that isn't representative of yourself. I mean, I don't know. It depends on demographics and things like that, but you know.
Well,
anyways.
But the other thing is, I mean, and I get that you establish yourself on a certain type of demographic, but like Taylor's original fans that have grown with her, like they're older now. They're
right.
Music for their age is going to still appeal to them, and you know, teenage girls listen to what's on the radio, and if it's Taylor Swift, you know, she's popular and famous enough that like no matter what she makes, something's going to get on the radio and something's going to blow up regardless. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
Like I just like grow up a little bit. Like I'm not saying you have to like make music for old people, but like, you know, instead of making music for like teenage girls, make them for people in their 20s, because that's where the fans that first started with her are going to be now ish. So I don't know.
Yep.
I feel like she's released enough music at this point to know where her target audience is, and when she writes an album, she prepares for that target audience, the one that she's gonna impact the most, I would say.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other issue that I have with the music industry in general, is that I feel like so many artists, like the more famous of an artist you are, the more you're making music to sell and less because you know what I mean? I feel like it loses a little bit of that like just inner passion. Like you lose the music bug, and it's like, okay, well now I'm making music to sell, and it's like, I don't know, like like smaller bands, you can still hear that they're making music because they're really passionate about it, and you know, they really love doing it because they're probably not making a ton of money. And I'm not saying that Taylor's not passionate about what she does. Like, it's clear, like, she wouldn't have gotten this far if she wasn't, but I don't know. Like, a lot of the songs, especially on this album, it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds like popular music today. And that's another issue with, like, radio pop, too, is it all sounds the same because that's what sells. And that frustrates me. There's just a lot of lack of individuality, I think. I don't know.
Everyone should just listen to post-bebop music and enjoy it like I do.
Yes.
Problem solved.
Everyone should make their own music and listen to it.
It's an idea.
Everyone
Do you
should
wanna talk
listen
about
to
our favorites?
mine and Taylor's ringtones that we were going to make. We never released
we never
those because they don't
released
exist still. So, yeah. Should we move on to this actual album itself? which was released on
Sure.
August 23rd, not 9th. So, 23rd,
Called Lover.
called Lover.
Yes.
So yeah, what were your guys' favorites?
So,
I'm not starting.
Evan, you start.
Evan, you go first.
Ooh, I shouldn't start because I only know the radio hits.
Fake
But
fan.
So you know the singles, which are the worst songs on the album.
I know the singles, which I've heard are not great. I can bop on the radio to "I Forgot That You Existed."
The other night we were
It's a good song.
we were watching we were listening to this on our TV, and it like pops up with the album art, and Luke was laying on the couch watching it. Like, it wasn't moving. He was just like watching this still album art, and I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm focusing on this.
That's very good.
I was just trying to take it in. For me, I will say I added 4 songs out of the 18 songs in this album to my Spotify library.
Wow.
There you go.
What are they?
I've added
Yeah.
5.
I've added 0.
So there were quite a few songs on this album for me that just kind of like fell through the cracks. They weren't enough to keep me interested
We
in
gotta do
listening.
favorites first.
As far as my favorites, I Forgot That You Existed. You know what? I have the first 4 songs in this album on that I added. It kind of dropped off from there for me.
Mm-hmm.
So that includes Cruel Summer, Lover, and The Man.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite because I don't know. Cruel Summer was like pretty good. The production was decent on that one. I don't know. I think I liked Miss Americana and The Heartbreak Prince. I think. I don't know. I guess that's it. I Forgot That You Existed. It was okay too. I kind of agree with Luke. It kind of like went up and down for me. Like a roller coaster of me kind of just being like a little confused. And I feel like some of her ballads, it's like, although they are ballads, it's like, where is it? Like, this never went anywhere. I don't remember which one it was. I'll get to the ones I didn't like later. So, Taylor, what was yours?
Mine is Cornelia Street. I really liked that song. It's also like the longest song on the other than Daylight, but it's almost 5 minutes long. But it's just like I listen to it and I feel calm.
We also talk about how there's 18 songs on
I
this
like
album.
it.
Boy.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of songs. But I added I Forgot That You Existed, Cruel Summer, I Think He Knows, Cornelia Street, and Death by a Thousand Cuts. Those are the songs that I added to my personal Spotify library.
So I broke down this album into 3 categories.
3
songs
acts.
I like a lot, songs I like okay, and songs I can't stand. Jesus, they suck.
Do you have that fully written
Songs I
down
like.
on the paper, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Chris
I'm showing you
is an endless.
on the FaceTime call.
You are an endless stream of
You probably can't read
consciousness
my
at all
handwriting.
times.
I try my best. The songs I like a lot category include Cruel Summer, I Think He Knows, Cornelia Street, Death by a Thousand Cuts, and Soon You'll Get Better.
Yeah, but Luke's.
Very underutilized. Dixie
Yeah,
Chick.
Luke said that too. He's like, this is more of a like
Yeah.
They're like Dixie Chicks sing backup vocals, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like they
I was-
walked into the studio for like
They're-
5 minutes and
Yeah.
recorded something real quick. But
They're extremely featured. Like, they're
it's
just barely, like, it's a
aggressively
feature.
featured
They're not, like, there.
in the
It's-
background.
It's
Not a
it's like
collaboration.
the reason that she chose to have them in the studio is so that she could put featuring Dixie Chicks on the song
Yeah,
title.
but like without the
Which, they're
Okay,
the only, other than Brendan Urie, they're the only.
without it saying featuring Dixie Chicks, I wouldn't
That song
know
sucks
that
ass.
the Dixie Chicks were on it. Like I wouldn't know unless it was labeled
Yep,
that way.
I agree. Yep.
Also, I have a lot to say about me, but I'll save it because I will.
Oh my God.
I have a lot to say. Is that in your?
I have a lot to say about You Need to Calm Down.
Oh yeah, that too.
A lot.
Yeah.
I think
A lot about the song or a lot about the video?
Both. I heard the song before I watched the video, and the song made me furious. And then I watched the video, and I wanted to throw my phone out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, sorry, Chris. I interrupted your categories.
No, I'm done. That was I finished the songs I like. I can
right.
go through my songs I like, okay, but those are just the ones that I could like take or leave.
I think Me.
I mean, I don't know.
I think Me is the biggest piece of shit song that I've ever heard. And Brendan Urie, I love you. You are one of my top artists, but like, come on, dude. He is
listening.
It's terrible.
I'm not.
You can't spell
I'm not
awesome.
gonna
You
lie.
can't spell awesome without me. Are we 5? Are we
Okay,
5 years
here's-
old?
I have 2 things to say.
It's true. You can.
One, she changed the song between the single version that came out with the video and the album version, because in the song there's a line that literally made me so angry. It says, before they get into the whole like spelling breakdown, they say, "Come on, kids, spelling is fun," and I'm like, why? Why are you like this? Why are you people like this? And after hearing that song, it called into question everything I ever liked about Panic at the Disco, and I think I don't like Panic at the Disco anymore. I'm 100% genuine about that. I'm like,
I haven't gone that far, but I was very disappointed in Brendan Urie. I'm like, you're gonna go from freaking, like, let's just compare that to A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. Like, you've really come. This is where you're at now. From there to here, like, come on.
It's very strange. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Do you think they wrote that song together, or do you think someone presented them with the necessary lyrics?
I think someone paid Brendan Urie a lot of money to be on this track.
I don't think he would have done it if not, and I also don't think he would have done it if it was anybody less famous than Taylor Swift. Like, I just don't think he would have, because he hasn't really been, like, since Pray for the Wicked came out. Was that the title of the album? I'm a fake fan, but like since that came,
I didn't listen to it at all.
Since that came out, like, he hasn't really been doing a lot. So I feel like he needed something to kind of get him back on the radar. I don't know.
I mean, he has a Broadway show, doesn't he?
He was in Kinky Boots, but that was like in like February.
Yeah.
I thought he wrote that show.
I don't think
though.
he's on
No,
it
Cyndi
anymore.
Lauper wrote that show, and some other guy.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, he's been busy like live streaming on Twitch, I think.
Yeah, playing Fortnite with like Chris Melberger on Twitch.
Collabing with
Great.
Lil Dicky again.
Oh no.
God. So okay, Luke has
So now
the
we're firmly into the bad songs
yeah.
part.
Luke's watching the "You Need to Calm Down" video
Yeah,
right now.
I watched no videos in preparation for this, but we got this one going on in the background now.
Oh man.
So I want to talk about Paper
Okay.
Rings. It made me angry and sad and also confused and then again mad because it's at one point in it she says like it's your boyish charm that I love but you're a man, and I'm like, well, that's gross. And then the whole song feels very childish to me, which I guess plays back into her making music for
Yeah.
teenagers thing. But the song made me angry. And that's all I think I have to say about it.
Me Taylor, me mad. I yelled out in the microphone. Oops, I told Luke specifically not to yell into the microphone, and then I just didn't.
Did you
Me?
like it?
I'm
There's
gonna be-
Yeah, I
four
didn't
other
know who you
people.
were
I'm
talking
gonna be
about.
real honest. I didn't pay really any attention to many of the lyrics. I gave this 1.5 good listen throughs, and then that was about all I could handle because I just like literally just it makes me. All I can think about when I'm listening to Taylor Swift is how I don't want to be listening to it anymore. So I just like wanted to.
You and Jamie are similar in that regard. Jamie, my girlfriend, when she was here for a couple weeks, like a week and a half ago or something, it was when the album came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to listen to it. and she would react like violently whenever, not like
It's
abusively.
visceral.
I promise.
It's
I'm
like a
not-
visceral
but
reaction, not
A
visceral.
visceral
was
reaction.
Very upset when I wanted to listen to it, so I just ended up putting headphones on and
Yeah.
listening to it that
And
way.
it's like, and I feel bad because it's like, you know, and I'm honestly, I'm not trying to be like, I don't like Taylor Swift because I'm cool and other people like that. Like, I genuinely, it is that music that makes me genuinely like tense when I hear it. It's just, I don't know, I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Luke's just like staring me down right now. Sorry.
How about London Boy? Chris, is that on your
God, I hate
terrible
that song.
list? I listened to it once. I didn't like it, but I've heard just terrible
I hate that
things.
song so much.
We can go
Can't-
driving on my scooter.
You can't call it racist because it's not another race.
It's-
British people aren't another race.
Right.
But it's very like
Insensitive.
stereotypy.
Insensitive.
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah.
Roast white people as much as you can. Roast white people all the time. But it's very like
Like, she's not
it's
from
what a
there.
13-year-old girl. It's what a 13-year-old girl who has watched Harry Potter thinks about British people. British
It's like she watches
Yeah.
Harry Potter and she goes and buys a shirt that like is the London flag from
yes,
like
absolutely.
Aeropostale or something. Yeah.
Or better yet, a Clash T-shirt or
oh my god.
Sex Pistols T-shirt, and starts
No.
talking with a fake British accent.
Yeah.
Oi!
I don't understand
Oh,
like why. Because Luke has the lyrics up, and now that I'm reading them, I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I'm like, and this says, "Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time" is a Panic at the Disco song, and it says that
Oh, I hate that
she
song.
says that it's something that her British friends say all the time. Her and all her British friends, what do they think about this? But she probably also only hangs out with like really, really, really
J.K.
upper
Rowling.
class rich British people. She only hangs out with J.K. Rowling and Prince Harry
Ed Sheeran.
Theresa May,
specifically.
he's,
Ed Sheeran.
He's not exactly British.
Boris Johnson.
I don't know.
she probably does hang out with Ed Sheeran.
Oh, she has 2 features with Ed Sheeran on her last.
Oh my
in
god. Well,
her
no offense, but
previous
Ed
music.
Sheeran is also the worst. Sorry. He's bad.
Isn't he Irish?
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's from Dublin.
I don't like Ed Sheeran either. He's bad. This isn't about him though.
He was in that movie, the new Beatles themed movie.
Oh man, I read that
yesterday.
Oh.
article about that movie.
Have you seen that movie?
I liked the movie.
I have
Is
absolutely.
it,
I like
is it
the
like a
seen that
biopic
movie.
about? Is it just Beatles themed?
No.
No, so the whole premise of the movie is that this guy gets in a motorcycle accident and there's a worldwide power outage at the exact same time. And when he wakes up, he is the only person on the planet that remembers
That's
any Beatles
so
songs.
stupid.
And like he's like Googling furiously. And then, well, he's an aspiring musician. He's about to give up on his music career. And then he starts
And
releasing
that man
Beatles
grew up to be
songs as his
Ringo
own.
Starr.
Speaking of Harry Potter,
There's-
the end of that movie is the absolute dumbest thing I've ever read on a Wikipedia article in my entire life.
Harry Potter.
That movie.
Speaking
There's-
of- Speaking of Harry Potter,
Speaking of Harry
the
Potter,
end of-
the end of yesterday. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Oh, you're not spoiling the movie because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I
Spoilers
do.
for the end of the movie yesterday. I didn't see the movie. Like, tune out now if you want to watch this movie. At the end of the movie, he wakes up in the morning and he realizes he's the only one who now remembers Harry Potter.
Oh, what the fuck?
I know. I'm pissed.
And then Taylor
There-
Swift makes a brief
And then
appearance.
does she?
Taylor Swift wakes up.
Oh no! In the next movie,
No.
the sequel,
She
the
wakes
sequel.
up and realizes she's the only person who remembers Taylor Swift.
Oh, that's my movie.
Taylor Swift is
What
the
would that
only
be
person
called?
who
Picture
knows.
to Burn.
There's
Picture to Burn would be the name of that movie.
the
You should
part.
make it.
The only reason I really love that movie is because there's a part in it with a Beatle, and
yeah,
it's just
I read
very
that
good.
too. He's like, "Oi, I didn't make any music, so I didn't get shot on the sidewalk."
That's not what happens,
Basically,
but yeah.
he's like, "I'm living a happy life with my family, and Yoko's here, and we got babies, and everything's a smashing old time, old chap."
Smashing.
Brexit.
It's good.
This London
I
Boy?
like
London
Brexit.
Boy's about... What?
Brexit.
It's about Brexit.
About Brexit?
I just, like, lost my train of thought there.
Alex album became very political.
London. She says, London Boy is about what?
Me is mid-sentence. Me forgets what anybody's talking about.
She's actually writing about Boris Johnson.
Who?
Oh my god.
Anyway.
I'm gonna give this album a no confidence. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I like this album overall, and I don't like Brexit.
Well, you made a new playlist, right? That is Lover, but
I
only
did.
the good
I
songs?
made a playlist that is Lover, but only the good songs, and it's the whole album except this is my songs I can't stand, Jesus They Suck category. The Archer, London Boy,
Yes.
Me,
Ugh.
You Need to Calm Down, and The Man. Those are the.
Should we
those are the
talk about
5
You Need to
songs.
Calm Down a little bit? Or do we not have 7 more hours to...
I mean, if other people have thoughts, please go ahead.
I mean, she exploited, like, the LGBT community to make a song. Yeah. Just
Aggressively.
that's really the gist of
Yeah.
it. She just
Why did they
heavily exploited them.
go along with
No,
it?
it's okay. She donated money to GLAAD, so everything's fine. Like gay people love her. Gay people love her.
She says.
Why did they go along with it? Like, why did all of those people be in her
Well,
her
I can
video?
tell you right now, the Queer Eye people, kind of suck. At least, Karamo is on Dancing with the Stars, and
Okay.
and Sean Spicer is also on Dancing with the Stars this season. And Karamo was like, yeah, I was texting with Sean Spicer the other day, and he's a really sweet guy. I like him a lot. Like he's really good. And I'm like, buddy. And then the haircut guy, what, Jonathan, is that his name?
Yeah.
Jonathan Ness?
He loves Mitt Romney in a weird way, and I'm just like, but why though? Why?
You said Dancing with the Stars, and I just remembered, I think Taylor Swift was also on Dancing
Was
with
she
the
really?
Stars.
Was she?
Or was she a judge?
Evan just
Yeah.
had like a lucid moment where he's like, Taylor Swift. Dancing with the Stars.
I'm like 90% sure she
I mean,
was on
I
Dancing
can
with the
see
Stars.
She
I
can't
wonder how
dance.
she did.
You remember that video that went around where she was
You don't know
like
that.
trying? I still wish we had videos sometimes so I could like just demonstrate things where she was like trying to be like sexy and she looked like a wet noodle.
I mean, she's going on tours enough, right? She should be getting in good practice at least. So maybe a couple more albums and she'll be a really good dancer.
Mm.
She performed songs on Dancing with the Stars. She was on an episode of
okay.
Dancing with the Stars, based on what I'm reading.
She was on Anne.
And somehow you remember that one
Of course he
episode.
does. That's who he remembers.
He T-voted it.
He watches it after
Oh,
you go
yes.
to bed, Taylor. He like wakes up. He like
The
has an
current-
alarm set for like 2 a.m. where he just like rises and watches that episode.
It's like Patrick with the crab.
He bought it
Yeah.
on iTunes.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too much into You Need to Calm Down.
I think
because it makes my
I
blood
think
pressure
that social
rise.
media covered that for people. I think people know
Oh yeah.
about that. I mean,
My least favorite take from the whole thing was this song is Taylor Swift coming out as bi, and I'm like, what?
yeah.
What?
Because of that whole Katy Perry thing at
Yeah.
the end of the video, but that was just them reconciling their...
Yeah. I mean, if
relationship,
she's bi,
right?
that's totally
That's
also
cool.
don't think I said
but
that
like,
word right.
I don't know. There's just
Oh.
ways to go about things. And I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the community. I'm not a part of the community, but like, I don't know.
I mean, she's doing the same thing that Ariana Grande did, and she's just kind of like queer baiting of I'm hip, I'm with it, like I'm part of this group, and just kind of like flirting with the idea of she just wants to be more palatable to queer people.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways.
So which song did you not like? Which ones did you not like? I guess, Luke, we can continue talking about the ones that are bad since we're just shredding this. But I mean...
Oh, I agree that Me was awful. False God, where did that end up on your list, Chris? Just the okay?
That's in the songs I like, okay. It's fine.
Okay. I concur with that.
Just...
I didn't like that one.
Just songs that are all right.
I didn't dislike it, but it's not one that I think about when I think about the album. It's in my playlist. It's in my Lover But Only the Good Songs playlist.
Yeah.
Because if I took out all the ones that I thought were okay, I would have 5 songs.
You would be still listening to 1989.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
Lover But Only the Good Songs, and it's just all 1989. It's that album.
So isn't it like a thing that she does is she releases the worst songs off her album as singles so that when the album actually comes out, people like it?
I don't think she's meant to do that. I think this is the only time that that's like almost been 100% true.
I read I think it was either a Billboard or a Pitchfork article. I can't remember which, but it was like she's
I'm
doing
sure,
it again.
I'm sure she
giving
thinks
us all
that
her
everything she
shitty
makes
songs.
is the best to ever be made by anybody.
I'd say it's just like profit optimization on her album. Like she has someone go through and listen to the songs and like runs it through an algorithm to decide which ones to release.
I guess I
probably not
kind of
her own.
understand that. I had to
Yeah.
do that for a job once where I had to scout like up and coming artists, and it wasn't like my instructions weren't like I don't care. Like they was like I don't care if you don't like it or you do like it. Like if you think it'll sell, pick it. That was my specific instruction. So like that's probably what.
It's probably like some focus groups or something that listen to it early, right?
Or her publicist's
Maybe.
team
I mean,
is like I'm gonna see what
to-
sells. Music professionals are gonna.
she did 4 singles before the album came out. Is that right?
I think it was 3
She
from
did.
what I saw.
Me,
Uh,
You Need to Calm Down, The Archer, and Lover.
I don't see Archer on
so
the
I can-
Wikipedia, but I guess it was.
Really? I swear I heard that. Maybe I'm wrong. I swear I heard that before the album.
The Archer came out before the Archer came
I'm
out
gonna
before
modify
Lover.
the Wikipedia then.
I can totally understand why she would choose to release Me and You Need to Calm Down.
Mm-hmm.
Me has a feature by another really popular artist and would reach crowds that a Taylor Swift song itself wouldn't reach. You Need to Calm Down, I mean, I obviously have opinions about it, but like that video has a lot of celebrities in it and it's got some sort of political messaging, so that's going to garner controversy and conversation and things like that. I don't know at all why she released The Archer. I think that song is dog shit.
Yeah.
I think
It's bad.
so boring. It put me to sleep. I listened to it. It came out. I was on a road trip with my mom, and she was driving at the time, and it came out. I said, "Oh, let's listen to this," and I was like, "I'm gonna fall asleep if we listen to this anymore." And we didn't even finish the song. I was like, "This is just oh my god." So leading up, like
It's a 3-minute and 30
until the album came out, I was like, "This album is gonna suck. This is gonna be terrible."
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Lover came out like the day before the album came out, or yeah.
Yeah.
1 week.
Really-
1 week according to
really
if
close.
the wiki can be trusted.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. I think the video came out the day before the album came out. That might be what I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that song. I was like, okay, this is kind of the reason I like Taylor Swift. One of the reasons I like Taylor Swift. It's cutesy. It's not overly like. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's neat. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if there's more of this on the album, then we'll be okay. And then it kind of was. I like this album better than Reputation. I can say that.
For sure, better than Reputation.
I didn't like that album at all.
Also, can we talk about how this album was like heavily co-produced by Jack Antonoff from Bleachers?
Yeah, I read a little bit about that.
He does a lot of stuff.
I just feel like that surprised me. Like, he's not someone that I expect to be co-producing a Taylor Swift album. But I don't know. I always feel like Bleachers is way smaller than they actually are. But I don't know.
I mean, John Bellion just co-produced and wrote Camila Cabello's 2 new singles that she released.
Yeah, but I feel like John Bellion's like,
so,
I feel like he's a
weird
way
artist.
Like, I just feel like Bleachers is like not huge. I mean, I might be wrong, but like, I just feel like they're not huge. But I mean, like, I guess they wrote the track for Love, Simon, so they probably are huge now. But
well, I don't think your group has to be huge for you to be a sought-after producer.
Yeah, I mean,
but Taylor Swift.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have done it or anything like that. I'm just saying I was just like, oh, like, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to see it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift is just like painfully huge, you know. Like, she has she's like disgustingly famous. So, you know, yeah, she has just an ungodly amount of money, more money than I will ever have in my life, which is normal and fine. She has more money than a lot of people ever have in their life, but
this is true.
Whatever. So yeah.
Well,
that's our thoughts on Taylor.
That's pretty much all I have to say.
Recording? Where am I? Hello?
So we didn't talk at all about what we're going to do next week, Leah.
Shoot, should we just... Yeah, we'll just surprise
Maybe it'll be
you
a
guys.
surprise.
I have a couple ideas, but like I want to talk about them not on the podcast itself. So.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, boyfriends and Chris.
You're welcome.
That's what I'm here for.
For being here.
Oh, I'll plug something. If you're interested in hearing a really interesting playlist, I made a playlist called "I'ma Let You Finish," and it is alternating Taylor Swift and Kanye West songs. There's 100 songs, 50 songs each, and they are what's the word? Chronologically ordered. So from the beginning of their careers to the most recent albums. I don't think there's anything from Ye included because that album sucks. But yeah, you should listen to that. It's kind of like Whiplash. If you turn it on shuffle, you'll probably get like 3 Taylor Swift songs in a row, and then you'll hear a Kanye West song, and you're like, "This is good.
This is good.
I enjoy this."
Is this a YouTube playlist, Chris?
No, he made it.
No, it's a Spotify playlist.
Oh, I didn't realize Kanye had music on.
Yeah.
Spotify. Oh, okay.
Yeah, after he kind of had his falling out with Jay-Z like a few years ago, he kind of put all of his stuff on Spotify.
Gotcha.
Well, Taylor Swift didn't have any of her shit on Spotify until 1989, right?
Music. She had an exclusivity deal with Apple Music, and then she was like, "You're not paying," or no, she had an issue with Spotify. She said, "You're not paying artists enough for their songs," and I'm like, Taylor Swift, you have so much money. Like, I understand you're taking a stand for smaller artists, but it's not going to work.
But like, don't try to be relatable when you've lost all relatability possible.
Yep.
She tried to take a stand, but then didn't.
Like, she'll like just she'll speak it into the void, and then just. She's one of those. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going back to it. Like, one of those activists that's like, I'm going to talk about stuff, and then I'm just going to just talk about it to make myself look good, and then I'm not going to do anything about that.
Because none of it affects her. I mean, like when she speaks out about sexist practices in the music industry, I understand it. I understand where she's coming from. But at the same time, I also have to say, okay, but how much do these things affect you? And as a white woman, they affect you much less than they would affect, say, a black woman. And there's a complete lack of, like, acceptance for intersectionality. There's a complete lack of acknowledgement that, like, a black woman might have it harder than I do, or I mean, a gay black woman might have it even harder than others do, and it's just this whole, like, I don't know. She's the Hillary Clinton of pop music.
Well, that would be like Taylor and I being like, you know, like I'm a woman, and so therefore society can be sexist towards me, but I'm also a white woman, so I have the most privilege possible within my sex, you know?
Right.
So it's like, and I acknowledge that completely. And yeah, it's like she is incredibly famous. She is a white woman. She's one of the most famous white women ever. So use that privilege to lift the voices of the minorities, you know? And that's what's not happening.
But she just says, money please.
She had a song with Future on it, on Reputation. I just remembered that.
No.
Future's good.
Blech. Why do you still have
fine.
Blackboard up?
What?
Okay,
Why do you
here,
still have
I'm going to
Blackboard?
speak this into existence. I'm going to speak something into existence.
Okay, manifest that shit.
Put 21 Savage on a Taylor Swift song. I
No.
want it. She had Kendrick Lamar. She had Future. Like 21 Savage is a possibility. London Boy is about 21 Savage. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, well,
Hey, did anyone watch the music video for Panini?
I haven't yet. I've been meaning to.
put
I liked it.
Lil Nas remakes
Lil Nas X.
Taylor Swift's Lover.
And then gets
And
Billy
gets
Ray
Billy Ray
Cyrus.
Cyrus to remake
feature
that
on it.
remake of his remake.
Lil Nas X can do no wrong at this
Put Mason Ramsey on a Taylor Swift song.
God. All right. Well, in the meantime, you can tell
Absolutely.
us who you want to see on a Taylor Swift song. On our Taylor, I'm taking your job.
On
I'm
our
sorry.
Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of the above. You can watch a blank screen of our logo on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then you can watch our old episodes there too. We just gave up on that. And by we, I mean I completely gave up on the Friday
Yeah.
Days playlist. It's there, but there's nothing new.
Maybe
Put 21 Savage. in
next
the
week
Friday
is a
yeah,
Night
next
surprise.
week is a surprise. Maybe I'll try to be better because I share a lot of music on my personal Instagram. So like maybe I'll be better about sharing it on Music Mondays if I remember. I'm not going to promise anything, but I'll try. You can also follow us on our personal Instagrams and that we actually use. See things.
I post a lot of
She
TikToks
does.
on my Instagram story.
She does. I love it. I don't know how to do that because I don't know how to use technology. So I would though because I see a lot that I'm like, this is really
Well,
funny,
next-
and then I don't do it.
It's for the best.
Okay.
Next week
Yeah.
is a surprise. It'll be back to just Leah and I. We know we're so sorry that we are just
So
us
sorry
two.
that we are.
We are who we are by Kevin.
We are who we are.
Us the duo.
Anyway. Hey.
All right, that's all. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.